Today was deep.
Because of you. You took it there. Like you put a shift in the room. We say that we say that in church world all the time. There's going to be a shift.
You know, in marketing, we always say attention. And you talk about like Gary Vaynerchuk and all those, personalities that say attention is the way to go. I'd argue attention that is based around authenticity.
And that is the way it's going now is people want to relate to the person that they're doing something transactional with.
70 to 80% of the population as a buyer makes a buying decision between the 7th and 8th touch point. So if you're doing your marketing and you stop at number 3, you're missing out.
Well, I was watching / listening because I'm a GenZennial, right? I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial.
Wait.
So,
GenZennial.
yeah, I came up with that.
It's cool, but I'm just saying, like,
Xing
how
or Zing? Where are you?
I have my Gen Z moments, even though I'm farther away from that spectrum.
Yeah, we're all going to use that word.
GenZennial, you're welcome.
what makes us avoid tapping into the personal elements, the intrinsic things? This is a conversation that came up for me earlier in the week on a marketing call. But what is it that keeps us from tapping in that way? Listen, it's been a day. Do you guys get, when you leave that room and we're talking to all these business owners, how do you feel when you leave the room? Do you feel charged, recharged? Do you feel drained? Are you neutral? Just out of curiosity.
Me? Charged.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially like today, just, I can't remember her name. I'm really bad with names. Martha, yeah. She said, thank you for the feedback. And what you said stuck. And I have this question mark right now, so I'm definitely going to think about it. So thank you for that. Like, that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So in some way, every time I go anywhere, I hope to make some sort of dent, some sort of, so to me, it's always recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say my cup gets full.
Really?
Whether or not it's from validation, if we have input or kind of like, you'll echo what's going on in here already, often from the marketing realm. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's true. So a little bit of that, but also the human psychology of it, because we see a lot of parallels either to what we've already gone through as individuals or what other businesses that we're familiar with are going through.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it's not just a one-person thing.
Yeah.
Oh, same. Recharged, therapeutic at times. Yeah.
I like that.
Because it's like what you said, it's validation. And sometimes it's either you felt it before or you're feeling it currently. And so hearing other people say it, and I'll always lean on what you've said when we first started doing this, is the vulnerability. And and I think it's very important for me to tap into that and the ego and say, okay, Meisie, it's not just you, or it's not this, or you're not the best, or blah, 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 blah. But it's very therapeutic when I hear other people just brainstorm or say what's been going on in my mind, too. And I'm like, okay, so it's usually recharge and a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, and I think that converts into another support system for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we get as much out of it as they do.
I think so.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I'll sit there and listen to somebody articulate a pain point or a problem, and I'll think to myself,
I'm not the only
that.
one.
Yeah, I'm experiencing that right now. Like, it's reassuring. So the validating is felt around the table, I think.
Today was deep.
Because of you. You took it there. Like you put a shift in the room. We say that we say that in church world all the time. There's gonna be a shift. Like it's a little much for me. But it was you, Carlos. You put a shift. You brought a shift to the room that took us to an emotional place that all of our businesses are connected to. Mm-hmm. We are connected emotionally to our business, and we need to tap into that connection. Correct. That's what you did today.
Yeah. A lot of times we try to avoid it, and we just need to face it and embrace it and use it.
Yeah.
But
what's the reason that we avoid it? Why? What is it about the circumstance that we have? What makes us avoid tapping into that, the personal elements, the intrinsic things? This is a conversation that came up for me earlier in the week on a marketing call. But what is it that keeps us from tapping in that way?
Fear
Of?
failure, of not making it, of just fear of deception.
Yeah.
Did you say deception or perception?
Both.
Pick one.
I was going along the lines of perception.
Okay.
Like fear of being perceived as less than you know yourself to be.
That might be more powerful. Yeah.
I think that goes into, Maslow's hierarchy of needs in terms of just wanting to connect with others and wanting to have that connection. And if it's not, other Carlos Garcia brought up, it starts at home and that kind of a thing with family.
Yes.
If it's not someone who's already in your inner circle, because we have a tight inner circle, and we like to say it's broader than it actually is.
Yes.
But if someone's outside of that true inner circle, there's probably the human innate desire to put on a mask at times. And I think that's where it comes from.
It's just wild that the reward that you get putting on that mask pales in comparison to the reward that you get when you're willing to take it off and let yourself truly be seen, to let the warts be seen. I don't think you can get the help without it.
And I think that's the opportunity that we all miss. And every time I get a chance, I try to teach that, or at least put it on the table.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take that mask off, and it may not work the first time. So you're going to be even more afraid to take it off the next time. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it.
Maybe do it in a safe space or
First.
with safe audience.
Yeah. So
And then
the
get your
practice.
reps in.
Yeah.
Like this mastermind is a prime example.
Yeah.
Not that we need any plugs, but
Just
here's a
saying.
plug. Here's a
Just
shameless
saying.
plug. I would agree. I think having community to be able to come to gives you an opportunity to figure out, what direction can you take of many. Like all will be like viable opportunities. Which one is going to work best for you?
Yeah.
So
Another thing that kind of puts it into perspective for me is, this is why I get so much out of it. Like today, the end of life coaching. Holy crap, is that powerful or what?
Christy,
That's not made for everyone.
no.
You have to be a certain human to do that. It's amazing.
Christy is that human.
Christy is
And
powerful.
I've worked with her for months on the marketing side, and just her energy is that. Not only is she a doula, then she also does end of life and grief coaching. And it is a special human who can take all of that in, and then she has that system in place to walk it off and shed that skin for a while.
Because to me, that is it's almost like a reminder that when you think, man, I suck, I'm in the dumps, I'm like, man, somebody needs a end of life coach. My life is not that bad. I'm not going through anything in comparison, and that there is somebody like Chrissy that would, is helping this type of situation. It's amazing. I found that incredible.
It really was. She brought a shift to the room too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brought a shift when she started sharing, and I thought, wow. It's interesting because there's always these parallels that exist. They are present among us in this environment, like in this business environment. And again, there's like what she was saying in a moment was very personal and self-leadership oriented, more introspection, but it carries an immense, equal if not more amount of weight on the side of the practicality of how your business needs a certain level of support from you. So what she does for herself allows her to be not only more present in the business, but better for the business, if that makes sense. Well, being more present in the business makes you better for the business. But she's doing those things already right where she is up front, despite maybe how early in the game, how early she is in the game of what business she's in. But she was just a deep well.
Mm-hmm.
Deep well.
And then, I mean, in addition to talking about compassion, fatigue, and self-care with Christy, earlier in the conversation, I know Martha had brought up spotlight fear. And you chimed in with authenticity over attention. And I think, in marketing, we always say attention. And you talk about like Gary Vaynerchuk and all those, personalities that say attention is the way to go. I'd argue attention that is based around authenticity.
And that is the way it's going now, is people want to relate to the person that they're doing something transactional with.
Yep.
I think a lot of more people are skeptical nowadays. So
Yes.
I know with Martha, it's tough. But if she walks through the steps to let her authentic self shine for a while, then she can move forward and, maybe take a step back. But someone said it, and it's just you control what people see. So she can control how much she decides to show them. But I think just giving the story, the About Us page, so to say, like, why did she do what she did, going into this journal? Just telling that story is a level of authenticity and just vulnerability. You don't have to tell them everything you do, what you're eating. You don't have to overshare. Just give them why. The why. What's that Post-it note on your mirror every morning? Why do you do what you do, or why did you do what you do? That's like what all small business owners, or even in the corporate world too, why are you doing it? What got you here?
Yep. You mentioned people are looking for that authenticity to go along with what they have to do that's transactional. And it made me think, I wonder why people feel like they need that today. And as my mind went on, as it so often does on so many things at one time, I thought to myself, what do you think it is? Like, what do you think's behind that? Like, why are there's a mistrust there. There's a mistrust in exchange within the scope of
Maybe it comes
enterprise.
back to fear. They have to make the right decision.
As a buyer.
Yeah, like they have to justify why they went with A instead of B.
Because
to
there are a lot of
themselves.
options.
There
now.
are so many options nowadays.
So psychologically, let's get into it though. Like, Matt, like what's the psychology of that? Here it is as a buyer, you've got to justify. I got to justify this over that. Do I have to justify it?
I think for most people there is some level of understanding of what resources you currently have, and as an entrepreneur, many of us operate as a futurist, operating in an optimist view of what the future holds. Right. At the same time, if you're smart enough to know that that's a bias, and you're like, well, if it doesn't go that route, what do I do with the less resources I have? So you have to, triage where do I put my money or time or a combination of both. And I think that's where it comes from, as well as a little bit of scarcity.
As an entrepreneur, how do you think with that bias in mind? How do you think in the shoes of the buyer who also is looking for some ability to be able to trust that I'm going to have made a good decision in this transaction?
For me, the way we do it is value up front. And I know we've talked about that, in different episodes, if you will, of this podcast and out there in the room for the masterminds. And I know you do that as well from the business coaching element. If you can provide free value up front and get somebody to more abundance or more resources than they had in a way, I feel like that's a very easy way of building trust that's mutually beneficial, whether or not there's a transaction involved.
But I think if you're talking about the psychology of the buyer,
Yeah.
right? So there are many studies on this. And I actually took a webinar with this psychologist out of Florida. She was really good.
Oh, shoot.
And the statistics show that 70 to 80% of the population, as a buyer, makes a buying decision between the 7th and 8th touch point.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're doing your marketing and you stop at number 3, you're missing out. The other section of the populations are the ones that only need 2-3 times to tell me this is what you do, this is what I offer, and I'm like, okay, I don't need any more. I'll make a decision. Right?
They're more dialed in. That's more of like you're like on a disc profile. That's your D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a very small percentage of the population. I think it's less than 1%, which I fall into that category as a buyer. That I don't need you to sell me. I don't need your spiel. I don't need, just tell me exactly what you sell, and I see if I need it or not. I will make a decision right there on the spot, yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, right? So what do I do as an entrepreneur and as a business owner? I try to sell to people like me, which is the worst mistake that I can make. Absolutely. Because that's only 1% of the population. Less percent.
You're right. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I need to be selling to that 70 to 80% of the population where they need nurturing, where they need education, and say, so that's the psychology. So normally all of us do it without even thinking about it, where I'm selling to my kind of buyer, to the same way I buy. Instead of doing the homework and doing the analytics and doing the analysis to say, okay, and I just gave it to you for free right now, is really 70 to 80% of us humans make a decision within the 6th and 7th time. That's not me saying it. That's psychologists saying it, right? So work your marketing around that. Find your messaging around that. Educate your people around that on the 7th time that you have, chances are you're going to get a yes.
You want to know who's doing a surprisingly good job? It's not surprising that he's doing a good job. What's surprising is that despite the factors, he is still doing this thing. Did you guys know that Coach Hess will get on Facebook Live and he will like just do a recording in his car? He's in his car.
That's awesome.
He's waiting. Wow. He's waiting for his wife to finish her physical therapy, and he's like, "Let me just talk to let me talk to the market that's in need of the thing that I have, and I'm just going to just keep doing it." And he will record himself in his car. They're so clean. Y'all have to go to his Facebook page and go look at this. They're so clean, and it's just him talking like a coach about money, which is also cool. You got a money coach with him. And what's also funny, just for the record, in the room today, when he was talking, I couldn't connect to his business at all, but I connected to his heart. He was talking today, and he was speaking from his heart, and I was like,
you're speaking as a coach.
I was like, Coach, are you maybe selling the wrong thing? Like, should you be selling like some stuff for you? Like, this is phenomenal. He was dropping bombs in the room, and I'm going, this guy's amazing. So I'm looking at the videos afterwards on Facebook that he told me about, but you can see there's no audio, which also is a really cool practice, like for speakers, is that if you've spoken before, turn down the audio all the way, look at you speaking, and determine, can you connect with this right now? Are you connecting with you as you're watching it? And that'll help you kind of develop a little bit as a speaker. I'm watching Coach, and there's no audio, and I'm going, I'm so drawn into this right now. And then I look down, he's got like 1.3 thousand, like however many views he had. Mm-hmm. It was a lot considering. I don't know that I've ever on Facebook had any. I don't think I've had like over 7 views. That's probably a lie, but it doesn't matter. He had a lot of views.
Here.
Yeah.
And then you call your wife.
He had a lot of views. It was awesome. But I thought that was cool. And I think back to the 6 to 8 touch points. Mm-hmm. You just gave me a formula. Let me just make sure I've got a really good 6 or 7 things that are there that if you were scrolling on any of my profiles or platforms, you might run into one of those 6, 7, or 8. And that becomes all you needed to be able to buy in, connect, determine. I think I really like what he has to say. I like what direction he's going in. Let me go figure out. Let me go figure out what it looks like to have that conversation with him or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of us business owners miss the importance and opportunity or fail to see the power of the marketing and the need of the marketing. And I've used this, and I actually just used it this morning with Sean, is it?
Love Sean.
All right. So I asked him, how long have you lived here in San Antonio? Because he's not from San Antonio, right? So about 5 years, right? So you've been around, right? Let me ask you this question. Without thinking too much, give me the best answer that comes to your head right now. If you're near an injury attorney, who would you call right now?
Jim Adler.
Okay?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
The Fours guy. Even though I don't like him.
Well, I have a bias. I'd call Rick my business attorney, and just because I know he'd refer me to somebody and he'd get a kickback. So that's just networking.
So
I feel like that was spoken
here's
like a true marketer, honestly.
So here's the power of those answers, right? So you went to one that you already know. How did you meet him? Through referrals, through networking, through friendship, through whoever you said.
Through television ads from when I was 5 years old.
His answer was the 444 guy.
Yeah.
Right? So usually when I ask this question, I get one or two answers. The 444 guy or Thomas J. Henry.
I'm not from San Antonio, though.
TJH, 1 billion.
Thomas J. Henry, yeah. But look, Jim Adler is like a Houston guy, but then I've been seeing his ads here
I've
in
seen
San
him here.
Antonio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why
The
that
Texas
came
Hammer,
up.
too.
Yeah.
The Texas Hammer. All
Man,
of
they're
Texas.
getting some good marketing from this podcast.
So that's, to me, is if you don't understand that, that's what we're all after. We're all after that. That when somebody needs your services, they can say your name within 30 seconds. It says, this guy, right? That's what we all want. But we don't have the millions these attorneys have to put billboards all over San Antonio, all over the United States if you provide those kind of services. But the next best thing we have, social media.
Bingo.
Power of social media and all the organic ways that we can do it, and then go into the paid advertising, and then hire the experts that would help you get to that point. But the idea is that when we get to those 7 or 8 touch points,
Yes.
and they get that question or that need at that time, and somebody asks, they're going to pick you
Yep.
because you're top of mind. So that's what we're all after.
I got to say this on the organic piece because I was listening to, I was watching/listening because I'm a GenZennial, right? I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial.
Wait.
So,
GenZennial.
yeah, I came up with that.
It's cool, but
Are
I'm just
you
saying, like,
Xing
how...
or Zing? Where are you?
I have my Gen Z moments, even though I'm farther away from that spectrum.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all going to use that word.
GenZennial, you're welcome.
Trademark that.
Yeah,
Trademark that right there.
So I was watching one of my favorite podcasts, a guy by the name of Omar El Takori.
Great podcast.
Yes, The Department, and he's doing his thing with the team, but he was talking about pattern interrupts that you can do, and it's kind of a hack on Instagram right now. But it's very easy and convenient for somebody who is doing their own social media, and it provides that level of authenticity. And one of the things he was talking about is nobody else can do this for you necessarily, and that's because you have access to your phone.
That's right.
If you have an iPhone or Samsung, whatever you've got, right? You've got your own pictures. Lean on, I think it was faith, family, food, fashion, and there's another one, fitness.
The
Right?
5 Fs.
So any of that where you can add a level of authenticity through your daily routine, you don't have to post it right then and there. You just put it as a story, right, for 24 hours on Instagram, and then you put some text with it. It just adds a level, and it doesn't have to show up in your grid that way, right? But it adds a level of you being relevant and available. It adds a pattern interrupt for the algorithm, but that's the authenticity piece. I thought that was some gold.
Omar is going to be getting a letter from my attorney. I feel like I wrote that down like 4 years ago. And you want to know what's
Did you
crazy?
trademark it?
I didn't.
Need
I
an
don't know.
attorney.
I need.
So he got it from somebody, and I got it from him.
I need Jim Adler, Thomas J. Henry, and Rick Escamilla. I need all three of them. I need a whole legal team for this. I feel like I had this 3 years ago, maybe, where I thought I need to just do like how about faith? Because I was a pastor at one point.
sense.
I love my family. What about that? I adore them. I like fitness. I need a 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh yeah, look, there's like the 3 F's. You know. Also, my wife's really good at aesthetics, fashion. I'm telling you, I had these F's, but I didn't do anything with it. I didn't execute.
Yeah. So you're F out of luck.
I was going there.
Nice.
I was going there. I clearly didn't give an F. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some play on words with F in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. Omar's a sharp cat. I love listening to him too.
That was gold.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense, but that adds to that level of authenticity for somebody who doesn't want to pull a Coach Hess and pull out the video, which I'm always very biased towards. Like,
I think
pull
it's
out the
awesome.
video.
Yeah.
But
Coach is doing a great job. I really appreciated what he had to say today, and even the connection afterwards. Great having Carlos. Carlos in the room today was really cool. That was really cool. I mean, I've been watching Carlos and his podcast and the
Tracy,
things.
his wife.
Yes, Carlos and Tracy both have just been so encouraging, and then what they brought to the room, I thought that was encouraging as well, and I felt like it allowed for dialogue to open up so that all those business owners who were in there could get another perspective. So,
Yeah.
props to him. Shout out to Carlos and Tracy.
Always Level Up podcast, Carlos and Tracy Garcia with Level Up Realty.
There it
Plug. Shameless
Boom.
plug.
That's
Shameless.
how we
Gotta
do
throw
it.
it out there.
That's how we do it. Generosity. We spread the love around. I started off by asking, if you guys, how do you leave the room? Do you feel recharged? Do you feel energized? Do you feel drained? For me, I always feel so energized when I leave this, but vulnerably. Wednesday has become the easiest thing that I do. And everything else is getting harder and harder and harder to do, which kind of like is foreshadowing of a conversation that I don't even know if we can have it here, although we should be able to. But it's just there's just so much to the conversation, and it's the part of business where it's a strange conversation that I've been having. Some of it came up in the room, but it's almost working your way backwards and understanding how important it is to recognize the things that you can do and that you will do. Understanding, all of the elements and variables that are necessary for that to happen and what that will cost you, and making sure that what you deliver it on time and as promised. And then there is figuring out how to organize the equation that you can see this whole thing is, it's generating a return, like it's bringing in some cash, right? And then from there, documenting that process, creating a more structured and formalized system that you then hand to another person and say, run, right? Like that's what we're all helping people to get to the place of doing.
Yep.
It's getting so hard because when I come into here Wednesdays, the easiest thing in the world is to connect with people, to connect with you guys. I think to be vulnerable, and then when I leave here, to be like totally like amped. But tomorrow, I don't do this. And all the other stuff that I probably need to be doing to document, it becomes incredibly difficult because I just want to come back and do this. I just want to do more of this. But you can't. I can't. Why? Because I don't have a team that's going to say, got this, with the systems that help us to ensure that we run this smoothly. Go. Do you know what I mean? So it's for me, it's a little bit like bittersweet because I'm like, I really look, and I used to not look forward to these Wednesdays because it was really, I was putting myself out there. That fear that we talked about earlier, I was experiencing that, but I would just do it anyway. Now I'm here and I'm like, dude, this is the best. This is the easiest lift of the week. And there's probably more stuff going on, but it's the easiest lift of the week. And then I leave and I'm like, yes. Then Thursday comes and I'm like, no.
Maybe there's someone there that is wired differently, that loves just putting those processes and documenting everything into place.
Whoever you are, get here now because I need you.
Could be an intern, could be a VA.
Yeah.
There's many options. that you can
Yeah.
tap into without doing a huge investment just yet.
Yeah.
So absolutely, but I think going to your point, I think you need to carry that energy into every single day after, into your family, into your what you do, into you need to, because that will kind of make the other stuff
Yeah.
happen, and you'll get creative, and you say, well, you already know what you don't like. So
I love that.
to me, this is a great opportunity, and this is why I'm a big fan of The Working Genius by Patrick Lencioni.
100%. Yeah.
So I actually do this facilitation.
Did you get Working Genius certified?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a plus.
So I truly believe in this system. It is
I do
so
too.
good.
Yep.
And just recently I learned that this is not my client, somebody I network with, but they said they love it so much that they even have their customers go through the Working Genius assessment. I thought that was genius.
It is genius.
Because then they know exactly how to talk to their customer. They know what the level of geniuses are. So I'm sure if you do the Working Genius assessment, you're probably a wanderer.
I actually, my first work, it's Wonder.
W,
Yep,
okay.
that's exactly what it is.
What's your second?
It's somewhere, it's either
Probably discernment.
Yep. I'll pull it up here in a second. Yes.
Well,
That's actually my second.
right. So, and this is just a tool that we all can use to recognize what we're really good at, what what we love doing versus what we're good at. Not so much we love it, but we can do. We're really efficient at it. And the ones that we absolutely hate,
Yep.
right? Those are the drainers. So the whole idea of the system is that everything that drains you, now find the person that's their genius,
Yep.
right? So that's why I love that. So to me, that's what you need to carry. I'm sure in your network, and you have a vast network, and even people in that room, I guarantee you, I do a lot of pro bono work as well. We all do it, yeah,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I guarantee you'll find somebody that loves doing this stuff that would help you out because you are giving something else to them. So you also have that opportunity without having a huge investment. And I mean, that's just you. This is for everyone, right?
Yes.
So my advice is always to whatever energizes you, keep that in mind, carry that with you, make that part of your motivation and say, okay, so every day you don't forget. And it doesn't drain you as much or as often.
So when I took the test, so the test will give you your top 2 working genius, and then it'll give you your
Competency.
working frustrations at the bottom end, right? In the middle, you have your competencies, things that you may not love to do it, but they don't necessarily drain you. Mine wasn't so simple. I mean, it's me, guys. It wasn't simple. It was complex and complicated, just like I am. But I ended up having in my top 2, I had an additional. I was wonder, then I was inventive, and then discernment. And then my frustrations are tenacity and enablement.
Yeah, I could just see it.
I'm awful at enabling, and I get bored pushing things through to the end. I'm like, dude, we've done this 114,000 times. Like, I'm ready to go do something else. Let's move on. Let's move on. But yeah, I love that. I actually love everything about that. Working Genius is cool.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Patrick Lencioni, Working Genius.
Yes. I think everybody should do it.
I would love to make sure that I'm shouting out people as we go because again, spreading the love around, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's great from an SEO perspective on YouTube.
Shameless plugs.
I love this. I love it. Man, yeah, today was cool. I'm trying to think of what else stood out. We got to talk a little bit about Christy. We talked about, what kicked off the conversation today. Y'all noticed we only talked about one challenge that was standing in the way of a single person's motivation in their business, and that was Martha. And what I remember or take away from the conversation as a whole, I kind of try to think of things in in theme. The overarching thing, really, to me, and I feel like this is going to be like a good potential disagreement. I felt like the overall thing was actually leadership.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. But I could understand if anyone else saw that differently, which I would love to discuss. But
There's a lot of self-leadership, and that's really where it all starts.
Yes. Yes. How you lead yourself is a great determiner of how you will lead others.
Yeah.
If you are gracious with yourself, you will be gracious with others. But if you are merciless with yourself, you can expect to potentially be a tyrant. So, but I heard that come through in her concern and that idea of like not wanting to be in the spotlight. But what's interesting to me is that leadership calls to all of us. It asks us to step out into the spotlight, but not because you're needing the attention. It's because there needs to be attention placed on your level of authenticity with regard to this subject matter or whatever this is, this area where you've been given the skills, the ability, or you have worked up the skill. You now have the ability. You've got talent, and it's serving something greater than yourself. So it was just really, it was a very deep subject matter that carried the whole conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. What you guys see in there?
Same. And that's why I always ask that question, because I have a curious mind, right? So I want to know where that comes from. Because usually the coaching, any kind of coaching you do, regardless of what industry you serve, if you're a coach, it's always borderline therapy. Because if you don't dig deep and find out what is it that's holding you back, why do you think the way you think?
Yeah.
What, all your fears, they all come from somewhere.
Yep.
The sooner, and as a coach, the sooner you get to discover that and then help them see it, then they'll be able to change. Then they'll be able to do something about it, because now they're self-aware. Okay? If we start asking all those questions, well, why do I think that way? Why do I? And sometimes you don't have to look too far, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to go all the way back to your childhood and the way your household was, and then how you were treated, your circle, your friends, your brothers, your sister, your parents, and then realize that I am a product of that environment.
Yep.
Right? And as soon as I see it, then I recognize it and say, I can do something about it now.
I can
now
do
I'm
something
self-aware,
about it.
Right? But that's the hardest part. The hardest part is you don't see it.
Going back to what Carlos said about leadership, and it was eye-opening for me because he mentioned the inner circle, like your family. And I thought about my father, and I thought about my children. And my father was an accountant. He was a VP of finance for an insurance company and really loved the people, didn't like the job. So I watched him come in every day, kind of just browbeaten, just not it. His passion was being a mechanic. But his mother told him to go into something else, which he did. And just watching him made an impression on me. And he said, do what you love, which was at that point journalism. And it's a big family joke now because he's like, yeah, how much did that pay you?
I should have.
You followed your heart. So,
I should have known it was journalism, because browbeating is totally a journalist's kind of like lingo. Like browbeating was an elevated experience. That word, elevated experience, has been my thing this morning. By the way, just
We noticed.
but it made me think, okay, what kind of picture am I painting for the kids?
Yeah.
What am I showing them? And, as a leader in our house, along with my husband, it's what are they going to think about work? Are they going to say, I don't want to work because I don't want to come home unhappy every day? I'm trying to show them, and I have to remind myself to, on the surface level, maybe show them it's okay. It's okay to work hard, but it's okay to smile. And I think about that because I remember what my dad did.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can pass it on. And ironically, my stepdaughter is now an accountant. So
But she loves it. Oh, no.
So far, so good.
Okay.
So far, so
Yeah.
good. It's our first few months from graduating, and she's working. So, but it is, and maybe there was something that rubbed off when she was young, and she saw something and followed her passion, or just said, I needed the paycheck. I don't know yet. But it seemed like that's where she wants to go. And leading within the household, I think, is tough as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. But I just think that just even gathering like from what you said and what Carlos mentioned in the group today, the ability to access any level of satisfaction from life is directly correlated to the degree to which you tap into your leadership. Everybody, that's what you're saying too, Carlos. It's no, everybody has some area of leadership.
Yes.
You don't think you're a leader? Do you have kids? Yes, you're a leader. Are you married? Yes? Okay. There's leadership somewhere in there.
Yep.
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter which of the two we're talking here.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you lead in an area. And, I like my wife, for example, she's amazing at so many things. It was pretty much everything. Although I did beat her at chess over Thanksgiving. I want to make sure that gets stated right here on the podcast in front of the whole
She let you win.
world. Nope, she didn't know what she was doing, even better for me. So I was explaining the game to her. May I have explained some pieces and their movements wrong so that I could soil all of her plans? I don't know. Up for debate. But the point is I won and she didn't. But she's so great at so many other things. And it's really interesting to see if I step out of my lane, if I step away from those areas where I know that I have a responsibility to lead and try to step over into hers, we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble because she has a real genius in these various areas of our lives and our household, our finances, the way that we raise our kids, like everything. There's areas where it's like, I've got to say, wait, no. I actually need to hear from you because you've got a skill here that I just don't have, and I'm actually looking to you for your leadership right here. So every relationship in your life has some element or aspect of that. Mm-hmm. Are you stepping into the areas that you own? Do you even know the areas that you own?
Going back to self.
Yeah. Do you know?
And that's usually the starting point.
Yeah.
How do I become more self-aware?
Yes.
Of why I react the way I react, why I answer the way I answer, why I work the way I work, why I do all of those, like a self-assessment, and then start digging as to, okay, go back to your circle. Why do I react this way? And then you're going to find a lot of answers. That's going to give you the answer.
Yeah.
But before I forget, I wanted to suggest
Please.
Another activity in the group.
What you thinking?
And I'm not going to take credit for it because I didn't come up with it, but I thought it's great. It's a friend of mine. His name is Carlos as well.
Dang it, just take the credit at this point. Like, if we can't distinguish which Carlos gave it to us.
But the way you start this group, so introduce yourself.
Yes.
What you do, your business, and your why.
Yeah.
And then we go into challenging time.
Yes.
I would like to hear what if sometimes or within the same concept would say, why don't you tell us about an exciting project you're currently working on?
I think that's brilliant.
So we start celebrating the wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's brilliant. Wait, though. I need to go back to what because I need a list of these. Like, I need a working database, honestly, of things that we can come up with, like right here. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the last time we were here, we started thinking about, okay, we need to add an element where the value in the room is one thing, but it has to lead to like the next thing, mm-hmm. which we've got a workshop coming up next week, December 10. But that's one thing on the list. I need to put this on the list. Add to our structure mm-hmm. and agenda exciting things that you're working on.
Yeah.
Actually,
so it could be both, right?
I would want that before hearing their challenges, because I kind of want them to take that. It's a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Sounds a little manipulative here, but honestly, to go up and to feel the experience of the highs. Hey, I'm motivated by this. This is what I'm excited about right now in the business. But you know what? Here's this thing that I'm dealing with here that could be standing in the way of the successful outcome there and there.
Yeah. Because I guarantee you, all of us have some exciting news, some exciting projects that we're minimizing it.
As a matter of fact, I do. I'll tell you about it right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Go
I'm
ahead.
just kidding. I was teasing. I was teasing.
But yeah,
But
so
you're right.
you just concentrate on the bad. We just concentrate on it's not happening. We just concentrate on that. And we don't realize and don't pay attention that every day we have small wins.
Every day.
Every day we have something that we did that changed somebody's life or changed somebody's outcome for the day.
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't have to be profound.
No.
But all these quick wins are highly motivating. And then it kind of recharges you to say, it's okay to have this challenge because, I recognize all these other little wins that I've been having.
Yeah.
But if we don't put them up front and center, we'll never see them.
I like that. It'd also be a really great way to shout those people out right here and let the opportunity for them to get the word out even more.
And I mean that's going to help others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if I say, I'm working on this project and this is what I did and I'm using this tool and I'm using this and these are the results that I'm seeing so far.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is like, man, I can use that. I didn't think of that. So
You were going to say something.
So it reminds me a little. Do y'all know an entrepreneur by the name, I know you do, of Daniel Priestley? Anybody heard of Daniel Priestley? UK-based entrepreneur. I think he's an Aussie. I think he's Australian.
Shout out to Daniel Priestley, person of influence. What is it?
Key person of influence.
Key person of influence.
He's also an author. He's had a lot of billion-dollar businesses, things like that. But yes, with a B. He has a.
So you might want to listen to him.
he's got a lot of nuggets in
Oh, my
business.
word.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah. But that reminded me of he's got a pitch framework, and it's kind of like your social pitch. You're pitching yourself in a group atmosphere, and of course it's easy to remember. Marketing. So it's name, same, fame, aim, pain, game. And more or less, it's obviously what's your name? Yeah. With the same, it's what is something that is the same or something that someone could associate you with that's very easy to understand. Like you say, marketing. You can get labeled or categorized easily that way, not to confuse people. And then fame, something that you're famous for. And that could be something that, has been, previously exciting in your field ideally, or maybe it's something radically different. Maybe you are a startup and you don't have those wins yet, but in your past life, at whatever you did, that is something that is attractive or attention grabbing, right? That fame. Aim, something that you're looking to do in the near future. Pain, the pain points that you solve for somebody else, ideally your target audience. And then game, long term, what is your end game? What are you looking to do that excites you? And that's his 30, 45-second pitch framework that I think is pretty golden.
Genius.
It's super genius.
Yeah. So I just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
There was some of that in there that was missing, but I also get like the big part of the why. And if you can add in the why, which I know is a focal point, into that, that's perfect.
What if we took, I think that goes along with your suggestion in the sense of having, I think it would be really cool to have some kind of rotation about that, right? So one Wednesday out of the month, I add what you mentioned and kind of still keep that language. But then the next week, the third week or whatever, I use this framework too. The second part, though, the aim, pain, and game. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that could be a fun, let's test it, see how that works in the room. But do it over a period of time, like over the next 3 months, like the
For the quarter.
first quarter of the next year. We should say, okay, let's do this over all of the quarter, and then at the end, let's just see what were the results, and like really start keeping like the data points on
You know, that particular one, I would do it on a board.
Oh yeah, there's
I would
definitely a
write it
visual
down.
element for sure.
Yeah. I would, just get up and use one of the people in the room as an example in their business. So let's kind of walk through that.
It's going to be fun. Listen, you don't want to miss out on.
We got to get to some dates here.
And name, like, because I don't think we can keep the same name. The name's got to change.
Let's do it.
The name can't be Build a Better Business anymore. Like, we got to.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Oh,
about
I
the
thought
name of the
because you look
podcast.
this way, and I was
That's
like,
open. I threw
No,
that thing
no,
together
this
with
name
Chat
is awesome.
GPT.
No,
Let's
I
do
like
this.
this name. Like, don't touch this name. No, the Mastermind. Like, maybe we change it. Enterprise Exchange Mastermind.
brand it. There you
TM. No.
Yeah,
Let's do it. I'm
do it,
good with
and then I think that would be.
sponsored by
go. And it's like you,
ActionCOACH.
you want people to walk away with something, so there you go. Like at the end of the quarter, hopefully they fine tune their pitch.
Yes.
Because this isn't usually the only place they're coming, whether they're meeting a prospect, a lead, another networking group. It helps them fine tune their pitch.
I think we all need help with our messaging.
Yes.
I can't stress how important that is.
are,
And
yeah.
I struggle with it as well as myself, but I just keep doing it and keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing. But, I mean, there should be no doubt if I go to your website, if I go to your social media, that I know exactly what you do.
Do you think it would be crazy, or would it be crazy if I said that's not just true for people who are early stage? That's not just true for the four of us in this room. It's literally true for every level and category, every organization, every
size.
brand. You
Absolutely.
actually constantly need to be refining
You do.
your like how you connect to who's sitting across from you in this moment, because every moment's different.
And times change. I
That's right.
worked for a company, and they thought they knew who their audience was and their messaging was and their position. After we studied it a little bit, it was like, no, you're so off. That is, you're talking to the wrong people. The people you use in your pictures and your ads and anything, your website, it's not even the people who are really coming to you for help. It was just so off. And I think people do need to do that every once in a while, just reassess
Yeah.
and see if it's still hitting, if it was hitting the right way to begin with,
Yeah.
and then you can fine tune the way you operate.
I could not agree more. And I had this mental image of, man, do it and don't be afraid. Like, because it feels a bit like you're being exposed in a sense, because you're coming to realize, wait a minute, wait. The thing that I thought I was good at, you're telling me I'm not actually good at that thing with those people?
Yes.
What? What? Like, but that's the truth. That's the truth. You know what it's like?
Do you wanna grow?
Let me just tell you what it's like. I've become a really amazing golfer. Okay, I lied again.
Says who?
I'm an awful golfer. Like, y'all, it's so bad. But can I just say, finding your swing is crazy. And here's the thing. Everybody's going to give you so many different tips on so many different things and all this different stuff. And you want to know what's going to change? The tech is going to change, because the clubs are going to change, and the way that those clubs are, crafted, designed, so on and so forth. All of that stuff changes. What's crazy is that I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but potentially, like, I think your swing changes.
It's a great analogy.
I
Yes,
think
it's
your
absolutely
swing
right.
actually changes.
Yes.
Like, it does, but
But not only your equipment,
Yes.
as you're describing it, is you yourself.
change. Yes,
You work out more, so you get more strength.
That's right.
It's what you do also, not only the tools you use.
Yes.
But that constantly changes. And you have
Carlos,
to embrace it.
Everything has to be calibrated. Like, everything's being calibrated. And as this one gets calibrated in this moment in season, guess what? That means that you got to calibrate this one over here, which means that now you got to recalibrate this one over here. And it's this constant, like, tweaking work and effort that's getting me as close to what there's no such thing as really like a perfect shot or a straight shot. No golf ball flies straight, actually. They all have a little bit of something to them, right?
There's
Nuance
curve
to
to
them.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're trying to find the right one for you for this shot, for this particular hole, right? And so it's the same way. Refining this and having to go and like work on your pitch again. Because you sitting in that room that's a different room, that's a different environment. They've got different challenges, different problems than the last room that you just sat in, and you've got to figure out how to tap into what's there and know what they've got going on that's wrong, know what solution you want to bring to them, and make sure that you let them know you can solve the problem. And then you can do a few other things from there. But it's calibrating all the time.
And that never stops.
Yeah.
That never stops because you think, oh, I got this message. It's perfect. That's the one I'm going to use. And you just stick to it. It's not going to work because then you're going to hit somebody and you're going to say that message and they're going to look at you like, and you're dumb.
Yeah.
You know, like, or like you said, you're stupid.
My swing was stupid like not long ago. Actually, my swing was great for 6 days. And then like I was like, dude, I got this dialed in. They don't want to see me on the green, baby. Like they don't understand what they're getting ready to experience. And then I moved and had like a month off and I didn't swing for like 4 weeks. And I came back. I was like, what is this? I couldn't hit a ball straight to save my life. Like it was bad. It was really bad. But yeah, that was what you just said. I got in that next room and was like,
keep trying.
I gotta work on this. Shout out to golf and all the golf pros that are out there.
Also, Omar El Takrori, who's also into golf.
Is he really?
He does a lot of content on
I'm
golf.
tired of Omar stealing my life.
Yeah, he's just following you. Yeah, man.
He's so awesome, dude.
Good stuff.
Do you know he had a podcast one time where he left like the weird stuff in on purpose, where he did something and then he was like, I don't know what it was. I don't know if he said cut or if he said something, but it was like it was a directive to his production team to say, hey, like we're gonna stop filming right here. But he did it, but then just like left it in, and it was like supporting the point of what that video was about. It was so meta and cool, and I was like, man, he's so cool. That dude is, you know, he's a church kid.
Yep.
Okay, but before we end this, we do need we do have two for real shout outs. Carlos has a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does.
I do.
We'll also put a digital version of this that you can see on the screen, even better. Becoming the Leader Within, a guide for new, aspiring, and struggling leaders. Carlos Deleon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So this was years of experience in living leadership and learning from my mistakes and not having the training, the proper training that I needed. I had training. I had lots of training.
Yeah.
But it was all technical. It was all, okay, this is what you do. This is how you do it. But never did anybody in my journey address the emotional side and the mindset needed to become an impactful leader. I had to figure it out on my own and struggled quite a bit because, you know, at first I was afraid of not being liked. I was afraid of hurting people's feelings. I was afraid of many things. So I went through a lot of phases where I copied somebody else that I actually thought it was a good leader. I said, well, maybe if I act like them, I will become a good leader. So that just felt not genuine. So the time that I realized that the more myself I become and the more vulnerable I become, that's when my true leadership journey began. That's what that story is. That's what my book is all about. It is how I got there and all the stories and everybody that helped me and really to help any aspiring or new leaders or even leaders that have been doing it for a while but never had the training that I just described, that go through it.
Yeah.
You know, and give them some pointers where becoming vulnerable, tapping into your why, and then going back far enough to realize why act the way I act, why do I have trouble embracing my emotions, so how do I manage other people's emotions,
Yeah.
all of that. So I wanted to have that somewhere in writing. My dream is that, every aspiring leader and new leader would get a chance to read it.
When's the book released? Is it already released? Pre-order?
The book is already released.
Okay.
It released on October 3rd, my wife's birthday.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's available in Amazon.
Okay.
So.
I have to order 453 copies. Give it to all of my friends in leadership. Say you need this book.
Yep.
I like it. That's really cool.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you. And that's
It's amazing.
very practical. So as you can tell, if you guys, I think, have
Very
talked to
reader
me.
friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I try to provide help. I want to get away from the theory. It's not a theory. It's actual live experience and then
Practical.
action. Do
Yeah.
something about it. So that's how I try to teach. That's how I try to do. It is all on the practical level.
Yes.
Right? So, and I actually have 2 more books coming out hopefully next year that are practical guides.
That's awesome.
One is specifically on emotional intelligence in leadership, and the other one is Lead in the Moment guidebook.
Yeah.
And these are literally guides that would help you in the moment. If you're experiencing something, you're like, man, I have no idea what to do here. What is happening? Go do a quick look, find it. You'll find a page, and it'll give you tips of this is what you should do. This is how you should address this. This is,
It's a little bit like a flow chart. Is it this? Yes? No? Go that way.
almost, yes.
I like that.
So if I chat GPT you one day, I'm having this situation, I'm in this situation, what would Carlos Deleon say?
That'd be awesome.
There you go.
I love how you used it as a verb, like how we got into using Google as a verb.
Yeah.
If I Googled
Exactly.
you,
We chat
We
GPT
chat
things now.
If I
Cheat it.
GPT you.
You mentioned that today, by the way. You mentioned AEO.
answer engine optimization
Mm-hmm.
or generative, search optimization. Yeah.
Is that what they're calling it now?
There's a little bit of a difference, but it's more or less, writing or using search engine optimization and just tweaking it a little bit. So it could be picked up a little bit easier by answer engines.
Which, by the way, if you haven't jumped on Chat GPT Atlas yet,
Yeah.
Really?
My son's name, by the way.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. Like it's interacting with the page while you're Chat GPT-ing. It's kind of interesting and cool.
And that's more the generative experience.
Yeah, it's I like it a little too much. Okay.
It's addicting.
You have no idea. Like I built a whole marketing campaign that is, you can tell it's AI. You can tell it's AI, but it did something. December 10, 90-day. We talked about doing a workshop, and it just so happened I needed to do a workshop. I wish it had been because when Meisie, you had mentioned it the last time that we talked, I wish it had been because I, had thoughtfully planned that out, but it wasn't. It was more necessity. It was more need. We've got clients that we're already serving. I'm going, we haven't done a 90-day for our clients yet, and we actually need to do a 90-day. And so for us, doing a 90-day is a one day workshop, and we look at some of the most integral elements, areas of your business, and say, okay, let's plan for the future. Let's plan for your next 90 days, and we'll take you through the different elements that will allow that next 90 days to be more of hitting the target than it will be of, guessing at where the target might be. So it's something that I definitely want to get our attenders out to, especially from this week, but I'm going to make sure that we get an email and links and all this stuff to I think everybody that's just attended one of these events before, just so they have an opportunity to get there and to help their business. Usually we have